Hey folks, I'm Mark. Welcome to the channel. It's all about racing. Today we're going to take a look at a Porsche 911 RSR, that of the Porsche GT team, for the 2020 season in the IMSA WeatherTech Series. This particular livery was unveiled at the Daytona 24 Hours and was, I think, although somewhat muted, was really unique and has ties to the color scheme of probably their most spectacular livery that they had, that of the 2018 and the 29 season, which you can see right here behind you in that IXO model. We'll take a look at how these tie together a little bit here in just a moment. That being said, this being a Spark model, it is resin, it is sealed, which means it has no moving parts, it doesn't open up. But I'll tell you, one thing you're really going to like about this once you take this jewel cover off is the interior of this car is incredible. The windows are not tinted, so you can see into it. It's really, really nice. This is a spectacularly detailed car. It's absolutely gorgeous. That being said, it does come mounted on a wooden base with 2 screws. If you should choose to remove it from it, I wouldn't. It has a nice plastic jewel case. And the box supports, I guess, the American theme of the 24 Hours of Daytona, with the stars and stripes, and it's really nicely done, I think. Take a look at the back, kind of unique. And bear in mind, folks, because this is not a 24 Hours of Daytona livery, it is a limited edition car. Yay! You know, with so many cars with the with liveries that competed in the 24 Hours of Daytona, sometimes it's hard to find Spark cars that aren't. But this happens to be one of them because this did compete in the WeatherTech series. So let's take the jewel case off and take a closer look at this car. I had to break the seals off that jewel cover that attaches it to the base to keep it from sliding out, I guess, once you take it out of the cellophane wrap. But this is a beautiful car. To give you a little bit of history on this, in 2020, this was a brand new Porsche 911 RSR. 95% of the components in this particular car were new for that year. It had a 4.2-liter, 6-cylinder boxer mid-engine car. Yeah, folks, this is not a rear-engine car. This is a mid-engine car. And that was typical of the 911 RSRs, largely because they wanted to move the transmission and the gearbox up, respectively, to give it better weight balance. And they had to accommodate a really deep and a rear diffuser that stuck out substantially further than it did in other cars, and they need to do that essentially by moving the engine up, so they did. What's really unique about this car, you take a look at it in closer detail, your tailpipe comes out the side of the car right in front of the rear wheel. It does not have pipes in the rear of the car. And Porsche did this kind of exhaust in two years of their cars, both the 2019 season and the 2020, respectively. Also, you note one of their partners for this particular year was Tag Heuer, the Switch watchmaker, which essentially paid them a lot of money to put their name on their car, but they called them one of their partners. This being a WeatherTech series car, note the 911 banner there is red with a 911. Now, in the IMSA WeatherTech series, they have 2 banners on their GT3 cars. There are ones that have a red background and ones that are green. The ones that are red are factory teams, and this was a factory Porsche GT team. Consequently, you have that red banner. Your mirrors are red. The end plates on your rear wing are red. And the outside of the banner on the car is red. And that's all mandated by IMSA to designate this as a pro team. So that you get. Looking at the other details of this car, I mean, you know, as you'd expect from Spark, you have beautiful wheels, gorgeous tires. They are rubber. Look at the carbon fiber running board on the side of that with the red trim. It is absolutely stunning. And if you take a look right here, you can see into the cabin. You can see the net. And as I move in a little bit closer here, I'm going to move this around. You can see the steering wheel there with the screen. It's green. Surrounded by ultra-colored buttons, just like you have in the real car. I mean, absolutely beautiful seat, steering wheel, and net. Look at the display panel on the B panel there. You've got the numbered display. You have the pull tab on there for the air jack inlets. On the top of the car, you've got a number of different and unique aerials. I mean, it's really pretty cool. And that big silver L-shaped thing, that's an Aerion that measures wind and airspeed to provide that information to the engineers while the car is running. Really cool stuff, nicely done. It has the Rolex 24 Hours of Daytona logo there. And if you take a look at that mesh grille that provides air to the brakes of the rear of the car, that is a metal inserted grille. It is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's stunning. The color scheme itself is unique. It has the white that you had from the car, from 2018 and 2019, along with the red and gray, I guess you could call them accents that you had. The only thing missing in this particular year is the black. And if you take a look at the car from, and I'll move this up here, from 2019, you can see the white body, the black, and then the red and gray stripes. If you take a look at that, and you take a look at this, that red and gray is continued. You can see the gray, even though it's a little bit hard to see, all the way over here, and we'll take a look at it from the front. But it's very unique, and I think that ties over to what they had before. You take a look at the front of the car, and guys, this is a beautiful car. Before we even do that, let's just take a look. This because this competed in the 24 Hours of Daytona, they have the American flag on the base, and that is typical. If this were a car that competed in Spa, you'd have the Belgian flag. If this was a car that competed in the Nürburgring, you'd have a German flag, and they would all be limited edition cars. Cars that with liveries that competed in 24 Hours of Le Mans, regardless of when they competed or when they were made in the Spark series, are unlimited, but cars that are not, like this one, are. So you get a special treat if you pick these one up. Not only do you get a great car, but you get one of maybe 300, 500, or 800 runs. I mean, it's really phenomenal. Folks, look at that grille. It's beautiful. Nice mesh insert. You see the carbon fiber access on it, the RSR logo there on it. You can see the tow hook, the fog lights, the headlights, all beautifully done. If you take a look at this paint scheme, it starts white. It has gray that runs down the sides. And it has a red stripe that runs from the beginning all the way to the end of the car. Now, if this were the 912 car, the sister car, they always come in pairs in the IMSA WeatherTech series, the front part of this car would be gray, this section would be white. And they both commonly have the red stripe that goes on it. So they kind of reverse the color schemes, so to speak. And I do have that car coming. I just purchased it today. I don't know when I'm going to get it. But once I do, I'll put the two of them together, because when I get these cars, I like to try to get them in pairs if I can. Sometimes it's hard. You're at the whim of the vendors and what they have in stock when you look for them. But I picked this up because it was just a great looking car. I absolutely love the color scheme. I'm going to turn this around here and we'll take a look at it from the side, and we'll take another look at the dash, which you can see all the really nice details in there. I mean, it's just beautifully done. Thank God the windows are clear so you can actually see inside. And that's rarely done. And look at that. I mean, look at that Porsche Motorsport. That's the foam support that surrounds the driver in the car. I mean, you can really see it. It's very apparent from here. It says Porsche Motorsports. I'll zoom in a little bit, kind of get that in focus and get everything else out. Ain't that cool? Along with all the other framework and other pieces that you can see in there. And I look at the floorboard of the car with the hoses and other things in there. I mean, they just did a really beautiful job on the interior of this car. And I think it's exceptional. It's one of the best Sparks I have seen. This particular car, Nick Tandy and Fred McAweeke were the two drivers of it. For the long-distance races like the 24 Hours of Daytona, the 24 Hours of Le Mans, Matt Campbell joined them for that to make it a three-man team. All professional drivers, all skilled. In fact, this car won the pole at 24 Hours of Daytona. I don't think it won in its class, but this particular car did have the pole. Now, the other thing you'll notice here, you've got a white banner and you have got a white rear wing. The 911 cars always have the white banner and the right rear wing. The 912 car has the black banner and the black rear wing, and you'll see that once I get that car. Take a look at the back of it. Again, this being a mid-engine car, notice that the air vents that you have on the engine cover are right behind the cabin. That is to direct and to take airflow away from the engine to cool it. It's not further back because this is a mid-engine car, not a rear-engine car like the 911 GT3 cars are. The rear wing is beautiful, done in white with a big old Porsche logo on it. And one thing I like about the RSR cars, I just love the looks of the body. I love the rear of it with the massive diffuser that they have here. Notice that on the diffuser, you do not see any tailpipes in there. That's because they're on the side of the car. But you do have really nice tail lights there, nicely done. You can see the tow hook right there where that little arrow points down. You have the rain running light in there, and you've got the camera, which I'll pull back and see if you can see that. But anyhow, they even replicate the camera that you have in there so the driver can see what's going on behind them. Look at the carbon fiber detail on that rear diffuser. It is absolutely gorgeous. the support struts. And this being a limited edition car, you can see that this is number 223 out of 800 right there. So not only do you get a great looking car if you happen to buy this one, but you get one that is just absolutely stunning. I'm going to try to see if I can get a look under the rear wing here. I hate trying to lift these things up for fear of damaging the car. But I just want to show you that they got the Porsche logo under there as well. Kind of cool. I think that's pretty neat. Just phenomenal detail, phenomenal work that the folks at Spark did with this car. It is absolutely beautiful. If you have a chance to pick one of these up, you will not regret it. I think it's a gorgeous car. I do see them on eBay. They tend to sell for about $70 to $80, and that's not uncommon. If you go to the races, you pay about $85 or $90 for them. Sometimes you can get better deals. I paid $70 for this, so I considered that to be a pretty good deal. But anyhow, hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you like the car. If you have, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks.